Hello. It's another Pop Chat Friday. If you're just now joining us, say hello in the chat. Maybe you're eating lunch at your desk if you're on the East Coast, but depending on where you are, maybe you're at the office, maybe you're working remotely, maybe you have the day off and you're spending it with me. That would be really nice. But we've got some pop culture topics to get into. We've also got some industry news and things to talk about in the marketing and social media world. So thank you so much for joining me on this fine Friday. Let's get into it. But first, let's have a moment for my Backstreet Boys shirt from the Sphere, shall we? Huh? Great to see everyone. Like I said, take a moment, tell us who you are, where you're joining from, and what you do. Chris, you're a regular. You're on top of it. Great to see you. Chris is from Jacksonville, Florida. He's a sponsorship and community partnerships. He does partnerships and partnership activations for Everbank. So great to see you. So yes, tell us who you are, where you're joining from, and we'll roll on into it. But if this is the first time you're joining, a little bit about me. I am a marketer, but also a fangirl at heart. Love the Backstreet Boys. Thank you for the segue, Danny. Oh my God, I'm back again. Danny is here. It's been a while. It's so great to see you. Yes, but I'm also an academic. I teach branding and social media at the University of Florida. Go Gators, which is sometimes hard for me to say, I admit, because the University of Central Florida, where I got my undergrad, has my heart. But this is what I love to create content about, the intersection of marketing and pop culture. And it's so fun because we as marketers get to learn and talk about our industry, but also through the lens of movies and sports and music and things that we naturally love. So great to see you. Alexa from Seattle. She's a marketing and media strategist. Emily, you made it. We're going to talk about Bring It On shortly. Thank you for the segue as well. Kathy Ann is back from Scotland. Love to see it. Devang, amazing. Yes, we did make it to Friday, Justin. From California. What part of California? Justin sells a software that makes cold calling easier and more efficient. Ooh, we need that. We need that. What about for email? I need some help doing some pitches for Pop Chat. I'm really looking for a great CPG sponsor to do some giveaways for you guys. But I need help with some pitching. So Jennifer from Tampa, Rachel in Massachusetts, 2 weeks in a row. We love to see it. And if you haven't yet, just block this time on your calendar. Tell your boss that this is continuing education for you and networking, because maybe you need this software that Justin's talking about. Or, just some other great connections you're making in the chat. And you're also going to get some of those trending headlines. So you're staying up to speed on everything. Savannah is here. It's not a party without Savannah. So if you haven't yet, please introduce yourselves, because unlike what my beloved Backstreet Boys say, I do care who you are, where you're from, and what you do. What is Pop Chat? It is where marketing and pop culture collide. We are going to talk about the pop culture headlines for the week and maybe fangirl over them. Maybe we'll learn about some of your favorite musicians or movies or things going on in pop culture, which when we do that, a great byproduct of it is community and connection. We get to bond over things that we all enjoy. So the way it works, be you. There is no gatekeeper here. Whether you're in marketing or not, I think every perspective is valuable. So be you, share your thoughts, reply to others, connect, and have fun. Those are the rules. Monique is here from Baltimore. Thank you for your sweet DM, Monique. So great to see you. All right, for today's icebreaker, I might have asked this before, but I really want to ask it today. The question is, what is the first album you ever bought? Danny says, I list Pop Chat as continuing education in my yearly review. Such valuable information and insight from the community. That makes me so happy. I had someone tell me once that they mentioned Pop Chat in an interview they were on, where they were asking them how they stay informed, how they network, how they keep up with trends and stay sharp in their industry. And while I'm here talking about boy bands a good majority of the time, I do hope that you all get something valuable out of it. Amy's here. Love it. Hello, John Christopher. Hi again. Welcome back. So tell me, what is the first album you ever bought? I wanted to bring this up because my first album was Daydream by Mariah Carey, and she just dropped another album today. I meant to look up how many studio albums she has. Maybe someone can research that for me. But this was my first album, 1995, Fantasy, One Sweet Day, her Open Arms release, Always Be My Baby, like just iconic. Here's the back. Classic Mariah Carey. So her new album is called Here for It All. But I want to know, it's almost Mariah Carey season, by the way. I know it's like first day of fall, or we just started fall, but Space Jam, the soundtrack. Oh my God. If you ask me the best soundtrack in the world, I will say Space Jam. For you, I will. I mean, so underrated. Metamorphosis. Love it. Excellent choice. Alexa says +1 for continuing education because it's the only way to keep up to date. I appreciate that. I try. Oh, the Bodyguard soundtrack. I live, breathe, and have my being through Whitney music. See, we're going to learn about what everyone loves when it comes to pop culture. Isn't the Bodyguard soundtrack the highest selling or best selling soundtrack of all time? I think it might be. Aqua, Emily. I love it. Shannon's here. Welcome. Ace of Base, The Sign. I saw the sign. It was on tape. Amazing. No doubt the CD. Brianna's here. Brianna, keep me posted on when your next stream is. I was ready to join last night. Well, not entirely ready. I had stuff on the stove, but I was like, I've got to show up for this. The Disturbed album, Erica says. Too funny. Lots of Hilary Duff fans gifted Hilary Duff's Metamorphosis. And I think the first one I remember purchasing for myself was Kelly Clarkson's Thankful. Oh my God, a moment like this when she won American Idol. We all ran out to get it. Oh, that's the best. On cassette, Tears for Fears, songs from The Big Chair on vinyl, EWF's Raise. Look, Danny and Devang, both Space Jam soundtrack. That's top tier. Love it, Mariah fans. Journey's Escape on vinyl. Yeah, this was not my original one from 1995. I wish I could say. This is when they released it on vinyl. And let me put the question back up. Duh. Yeah, I just had to get it because of sentimental value, My first ever. Can't remember. Jennifer, thank you for reminding me about Mariah today and her album drop. Can't remember, but Mariah's Music Box was one of the first CDs I bought. Amazing. Danny, I'm going to approve this. Definitely approved. Oh, thank you, Monique. No, it's the same mic. Funny story about this mic. My husband is a musician. He has a couple guitars. And he's got a bunch of equipment and all these, things in his little man cave. And he bought this mic during COVID, thinking he was going to record music, and he never did. So I stole it and gave him my B+ mic. But this is the best. We love this mic. Yes, Danny is here and accounted for. Oh my gosh, Hit 'em High from the Space Jam soundtrack. Hit 'em high, hit 'em high. I know we've got new music from Hilary Duff. I feel old. I'm so sorry. So it is the best-selling soundtrack of all time. Amazing. Rachel says, I don't remember, but the first I remember owning is Spice. Yeah, I thought people confused me for Baby Spice in public. Going through the album artwork for that Spice Girls album and picking which Spice Girl, like that was a defining moment. Trying to pick which one was your Spice Girl. Ugh, the best of times. Okay. Before we jump into it, I did want to close the loop on something we were talking about last week, which was South Park and how the writers just flat out admitted that they had procrastinated on the episode from last week and that there was a delay. Right now, I'm reading this book called 101 Essays That Will Change the Way You Think by Brianna Wiest. Has anyone read this or read The Mountain Is You, another great book of hers? I like this because they're just like short essays, and I just kind of listen to it while I'm brushing my teeth or when I have little moments in between full-time mom mode. But in the spirit of procrastination, I really liked this quote and thought it was relevant. She said, moving yourself past resistance is a matter of shifting your perception of comfort. It's about considering the alternative. It's altering your mindset to focus on the discomfort you will face if you don't do the thing in front of you, as opposed to the discomfort you will face if you do. If left unchecked, the knowing doing gap, as she calls it, will leave you a shell of the person you intended to be. Spoke directly to my soul. So there was more in this essay. I wanted to just read you the whole thing, but I figured I'll direct you to go check it out if you haven't read it, but let me know. But I just thought that was a nice way to close the loop on that conversation. Let's see. I meant it when I said that every gay around the age of 12 or 13 picks a pop icon, and that is his diva for the rest of his life. Mine was clearly Britney. Danny, we need to go in our DMs and talk about Christina and where we were on that front as well. No Christina slander on Maine, but I happen to love Christina, so I'm torn, but Britney's my girl. Getting Reba ad on TikTok with her singing the night the lights went out in Georgia. Reba's realtor.com ads are my favorite. Ginger Spice. Ginger was my favorite too. Ginger was the marketer of the group. I could do a whole stream about that. Posh, always a good choice. No, but I want this. Yeah, definitely check out Brianna Wiest. She is amazing. Lots of great wisdom. Forgive me for not wishing you a happy National Pancake Day until just now. Yeah, happy National Pancake Day. And if you've been looking for a reason to get to Cracker Barrel, I know they've been in the news a ton and they've reverted all of their changes back and sticking to the tradition and classics. And now you have no excuse not to go visit a Cracker Barrel, because today for $5 you can get all you can eat pancakes. All you can eat pancakes at Cracker Barrel. So, and apparently if you are like in their loyalty program, you could have started it yesterday. So you could have had 2 days in a row of all you can eat pancakes. Who's doing that? I don't know. But yeah, go get yourself some pancakes. And coming up this weekend, we have National Scarf Day. So your homework there is to listen to All Too Well by Taylor Swift. If you know, you know. And also Save Your Photos Day. If you've been meaning to back up things from your camera roll and actually print them out and make sure they don't get lost in the cloud, maybe there's your weekend project. And also a heads up, next Tuesday is International Podcasting Day. So if you have any ideas for that, go for it. Something to think about. Okay, Emily, this is for you, our pop culture rewind. It's 25 years of Bring It On. Raise your hand if you can recite the entire opening scene, the lyrics to this entire cheer, or the words to this entire, it's kind of a song. And on that note, I want to know what happened to all the stupid movies. My husband and I were talking about this. Like, millennials grew up on stupid, incredibly, looking back, offensive movies. Not politically correct. And maybe that's just why there's no stupid movies anymore, because everything is so politically correct that, you know, everything's so buttoned up. But where's the scarf, Jake? We need to know. I'm also conflicted here because I happen to really like Jake Gyllenhaal. Are we supposed to hate him? I just don't know. You're back going to crochet more Taylor red scarf ornaments. Sign me up for one. National Scarf Day in September. I'm a Florida girl, so I that's a good question. It would not have occurred to me because I don't even own a scarf really, but that is a good question. Emily is here and ready to talk about Bring It On. So, also, in case you missed it, the cast of Bring It On reunited for a screening for the 25th anniversary. And let's just make this bigger for a second because we know Gabrielle Union does not age. But one thing I wanted to talk about was when I initially glanced at this, I was like, okay, that's the cast. And oh, this is Eliza Dushku, the girl who played Missy. And then I read the caption and it said it was someone named Lindsay Sloan. And I was like, who was Lindsay Sloan? Who can tell me, I'll make it bigger, who this character was? Because I had to look it up, but it's going to blow your mind. Who can guess it? Amy says, I need some more 2000s rom-coms in my life. Me too. They're straight to streaming movies now. I know. Brr, it's cold. There must be some toros in the atmosphere. Oh, your kids don't understand. Yeah, I get it. All the turn of the millennium nostalgia, maybe stupid teen movies will make a comeback. Maybe. It's about time. I miss a good cheesy movie. Isn't it great that they're back? Oh, sorry, Amy. This came in delayed, but lots of Metamorphosis fans. Does anyone know who this is? Lindsay Sloan. I'm going to give it a second because sometimes I'm on a delay with your thoughts. But I was like, that's not Eliza Dushku. Where is she? She should have had a better career, in my opinion. Okay, maybe it'll come in later. But this is actually Big Red. She's a brunette. This girl right here. And she looks, dare I say, younger than all of them. She looks younger than she did here. That's Big Red. I'm still Big Red. Fine, I'll watch Bring It On tonight. Yes, let us know where it's streaming. I can tell you, I bet my husband hasn't seen this movie, and it might be one of those things that I make him do. Everyone still looks smoking, to be honest. I know. I feel like we need to jump into it, but I also just want to quickly plug Jesse Bradford and Swim Fan, another iconic early 2000s movie that no one talks about enough. I Googled it. It got like the worst score on Rotten Tomatoes, but I love that movie. Okay. Any other thoughts on this? Drop them in the chat. But yeah, Bring It On 25 years ago. Okay. Trending topics. We're going to talk about the brands. We're going to talk about TikTok, and we have to talk about Anthropologie and how they've leaned into this prank about an expensive rock. To summarize, if you're not familiar with this headline, a creator named Phoebe Adams decided to prank her boyfriend by unboxing this rock that she got from Anthropologie. And she's like, oh my God, my rock came in. And she told him she paid $150 for this rock. And of course, he was flabbergasted, saying, oh my God, I could just go outside and get you this rock. And she's like, look how cute it is. And it's great for our entry table and this whole thing. It went viral. And Anthropologie decided to lean into it and show off this whole rock collection. And they even invited them back, or they went to the store and look, they priced them as $1,000 now. But let's look at this. I hope you can hear the audio on this. Oh, wait, I got to play this from here. The rock collection. $1,000. Get in. We're going rock shopping. I mean, I don't really have any notes on this, right? It was so smart, so funny. Devang, you watch Swim Fan every summer or Bring It On? I need to know. The Bring It On, dude. I know. Is no one else just floored about Big Red? I'm still shaken by that. But anyway, so they really leaned into it here, and they kind of got in on a joke that was about them being like, you know, kind of overpriced and bougie and, you know, very luxury for a rock. So my question for you, And this made a ton of headlines and everything. What do you think Anthropologie gained by leaning into the viral rock prank? Because it was kind of a dig, you know, to say that they would sell something like that and just, I don't know, kind of, I don't know, not nickel and dime, but that they would overcharge for something so commonplace. John wants one. Yeah, maybe when they're on sale. Because I hope they're not $1,000, but the true rock collection. And they really leaned into this. Monique says, I love this so much. If it's one of those things, if you market right, people will buy it. Yeah. And what I love about it is it's not a viral moment that they created. It was one that someone else created, and they could have released a statement or like tried to clear things up and manage the perception that no, we don't have like overpriced, pretentious stuff like this. But they just leaned in all the way. Like it's a joke, but it's also not, because that's on brand for them. Yes. And and we're okay with it. We're okay with Anthropologie being who they are. It's not for everyone. You could probably get a rock at TJ Maxx, and that's okay too. But Anthropologie, they have a place in the marketplace too. Bring It On is on the summer rewatch list, but Swim Fan is also up there. Great choices. Do you just do like a summer movie marathon every summer? That's like such a cute little to do. So fun. Drop us the list. We'll have to do like a bingo game where we cross it off. So what do you think Anthropologie gained by leaning into the viral prank here? And also just how do you think audiences now see Anthropologie? Because, kind of the brunt of the joke is that they're like this stuffy, overpriced brand a bit. But Devang says brand awareness, because who's searching for that stuff? They really do have rocks. Who knew? Alexa says, I think if anything, they built more brand awareness because it's so on brand for them to charge something crazy for something ridiculous. I think taking it with humor was the right move. If anything, it reinforced the brand image. Yes, it kind of told their story for them. Shannon says that they get it. I love that they were willing to be in on the joke, even though it was totally poking fun at them. I thought it was genius for them to participate. Doesn't this always work out? It's almost, if you're the butt of the joke, it's usually better to just laugh along with them. If you can't beat them, join them, kind of thing. Erica says they did gain brand awareness and fame. I think it's still going on. Like there's a bunch of parodies. There's a ton of other creators who are also doing the prank on their boyfriends, on their husbands, partners. Jennifer says brand positivity. That's what comes to mind. It's self-deprecating. They're not afraid to lean in and use the social conversation, even when it's a dig. I think everyone wins, and I now think better of them, but still only shopping their sale rack. Same. I wish. I wish I could afford all their stuff, but sometimes I can't bring myself to do it. But yeah, everyone wins, and I now think better of them, even though their prices can be a bit up there. Rachel says being in on the joke is so important. It also shows you're doing social listening. Ooh, we love social listening. Not taking yourself too seriously as a consumer brand. Yes, not taking yourself too seriously. I wish more companies would do this. Kathy Ann, they gained some personality. Yeah, they really showed their personality. Came across as not taking themselves too seriously. Also that they listen to the chatter and will respond, and now people will talk about them. Yeah, the fact that it's still going, people are still making these videos is so fun. Lots of credibility, admitting they know who they are. If Saratoga Water had done something like this, they would have won that viral trend points. Ooh, yes. Great callback, Chris. Free marketing. They're selling quality and experience. Whose Anthropologie are they local? Oh, Noah. Noah. I unironically love Cracker Barrel. They have a chief pancake officer now. I saw that. The whole NIL thing going on. Okay, and I'm sorry if I'm getting some of these late, the pancake thing and stuff. Okay, too funny. Now, Is anyone up to speed on Cardi B's album launch for her new album called Am I the Drama? Am I the Drama? She did a lot of kind of old school grassroots stuff with this, but also some new school stuff by delivering delivering her album via drone. In fact, she set a Guinness World Record for most drone deliveries in 1 hour. So that's pretty cool. Um, she also did some things like selling the CDs on the subway, and she showed up at Walmart and was doing autographs and stuff. Like, she really got out there in the community and delivered some via drone in partnership with Walmart. Pretty cool to set a world record. But one other thing she did, she's been in the news. She had a lawsuit going with someone, and she decided to release a courtroom edition of her album, and she won this lawsuit. So my question for you, she's kind of laughing it off now, especially that she won, and she's using it in her marketing and leaning into Am I the Drama, kind of leaning into this criticism and, controversy surrounding her. So my question for you is, how can negative attention be a strategy for brands? Can you ever flip the script like she has? Is it ever smart for brands to stir the pot? I do think personally there's a distinction with an individual kind of poking fun at this and a brand making light of negative attention, but I think it can be done. Is it ever smart for brands to stir the pot? And to everyone's point, Anthropologie could have interpreted those videos or that main video as negative attention, but they jumped in on it. So Kathy Ann, yes, we are the drama sometimes. Loved the New York City street appearances. Yeah, she was out there twerking at Walmart. Classic Cardi B. But she's getting the word out. So is negative attention something that we can use in our little marketing toolbox? There we go, Emily. I'm sorry it showed up so late. I knew you would know. She was big red. I had no idea. I would have never recognized her. She's a brunette. Too funny. So how can negative attention be a strategy? What do we do? What do we do with it? It makes more sense to kind of harness it like that anyway, instead of just letting the narrative run its course. If it's going to be negative, you might as well turn it into something. So how can brands do that? And is it ever smart for them to stir the pot? Thoughts on this? I need to see like if they had a ceremony too or like what happens when you win a Guinness Book of World Records or Guinness World Record. Is South Park a brand? They're almost never not stirring the pot, and it works. Yeah, they stir the pot. I mean, I don't watch South Park, but I feel like they stir the pot about topical things and not directly about themselves. Or maybe they make themselves a target. Depends on what's in the pot. I think hamburger helper is in the pot, right, Brianna? Ooh, I feel like it depends on how negative that the attention is. Yeah, in the context. Yeah, there's a big spectrum there. Monique says, I think it's kind of similar to the Anthropologie thing. Can you turn something negative into a joke or something silly and relatable? Yeah, and I think this is really where you have to practice discretion and decide what can be made a joke versus what needs more of a crisis comms type of strategy. John says, no, I think their PR is just genius and defended against that perfectly. They increase the brand's value and people will visit their shows. Oh, sorry. This is about Anthropologie. Yes, I would love to see some reports on foot traffic. Devang says, yes, always spin it if you are a genuine company that supports their audience as much as they are supported, I think. Yes. Don't deny, embrace. Extra points if you know what movie that's from. I don't. I don't. Please tell me. It is not coming to me. Ooh, Rachel wants to tie it back. Tie it back to your brand values, your personality, and strategy. Is it true to who your brand is? Ooh, going back to Anthropologie. Now I kind of want to see their their brand guidelines document. And because I previously I'd never really considered Anthropologie to be a humorous brand, but now I kind of do. I want to see more from them. I think it only works to stir the pot as a brand if it's part of the brand personality in terms of negative attention. Oh, you guys can't see me. I'm sorry. I'm just talking to myself. Here I am. In terms of negative attention, I think if you can turn it positive or something with humor, it could be worth it. I agree. Yeah, like Rachel was saying, tie it back to the values, remind yourself who you are as a brand, and then realign. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm back. I forgot when I did that. I think it was back when we were talking about Big Red, but I'm here. Depends on the brand. A celebrity brand might be able to stir the pot, but a corporate brand might try humor at the end of the drama. Yeah, I think there's a little more flexibility for an individual versus a brand, but I think you all had some great points that could make it work for a brand too. Chris had a pet rock when I was a kid. I want to go back and see how much those were and how much they would sell for today. They're probably on eBay. Great thoughts on this, everyone. So I like that. Did we find out what movie this is from? We need to close the loop on that. Okay, and this was funny. I just had to include this. The book is back. Yes, inflation. It's now $1,000. And yeah, it's now at Anthropologie. So I thought this was funny. Jason Alexander is the latest model slash brand ambassador for Kith, which I know they did something with Jerry Seinfeld too. I'm not familiar with this brand at all, but Jason Alexander, if you're not familiar, he's George Costanza on Seinfeld, and his character actually worked for the Yankees on the show. So I feel like this is such a hilarious callback and just this sort of streetwear style. I think it's so refreshing to see someone like Jason Alexander modeling this. So we're going to talk about this, but Monique says, I think as the next generation takes over more roles, serious companies become a little more meme embracing and joke friendly. We are here for this. Yes. Sydney Allen, if you follow her, she just got a new job where she's basically in charge of memes. Like that is her job for a brand. So you might even see parts of social being siloed and people just focusing on humor and memes and culture. Stuck on You from 2003. Would not have known. Pet rock was $4. I made a pet rock as part of a 70s themes birthday party when I was in middle school. That's like an adorable little party favor too. And not expensive. Go Red Sox. Yes, go Red Sox. My husband's from Boston, so I guess I'll hop on board there. What did I miss? Back to the pet rock. My kids found my old Furby recently and hid it around the house to scare me. Did they have to put batteries in it and it still worked? I happened to find mine the other day also. I love Jason Alexander and Brandy Cinderella. Emily, your brain is like thinking the same things I am. So literally right before I hopped into Pop Chat, I saw what I think was an AI generated fake headline on Facebook that had Brandy, and I don't remember her co-star's name in Cinderella, saying that they were doing like a revival. And I think it was an AI image and it was a total lie. But I was just thinking about Brandy Cinderella. I don't know, Kith. I saw what they did for with Jerry Seinfeld. But no, is it just for men? Do they have stuff for women? Jason Alexander is a tremendous role model for us bald, short kings. We love it. We love it. I think anyone can pull off this look. So my question for you is kind of just what did you think about this? I thought it was such a unique yet relevant pairing, but what should brands look for when choosing a celebrity partner? Do you think this made sense? Kith is a little out of my price range, but I love the collab. Yeah, I'll have to look them up. Probably out of my price range too. Like I said, I can be a TJ Maxx girly most of the time. Furby, unfortunately, still works. Millennials and Gen Z are stepping into leadership roles now. Yeah, and we're just like, we're going to do memes. That's the strategy, you know? And it works. It works. What can we tell you? They can't toy with my heart like that. Yeah. I didn't have time to verify it, but I think it was just an AI fake thing. Leave it to Facebook. Yankees did a George Costanza bobblehead giveaway this season. It was him sleeping under his desk. I did see that actually while I was researching this for that topic. I did see it when it originally came out actually, but I had forgotten about it. So funny. So smart. Long live George Costanza. And it's so refreshing. Like they could have had, Derek Jeter or someone a little sportier and more relevant, but this was relevant too. I just thought it was like such a smart, fun idea. So, what should brands look for when choosing a celebrity partner to make sure it meets the mark? And we love that it's a giveaway. I wonder what the terms were or how you won, or if it was just they had one at every seat. Devang says connection to the brand in some way or form. George was great for this because he worked for Yankees and the Yankees in the show. Yeah, and it's also it's got nostalgia wrapped up in it. You know how we feel about nostalgia around here. And yeah, it was just so fun. Memes are the strategy when your audience grew up on memes. Exactly. Put that in your social report. So, yeah. Savannah says, I think they nailed it by bringing in someone who aligns with the brand, but in an unexpected way. That's exactly right. And in a fictitious way. Does anyone know if he's actually a Yankees fan? Is he from New York? I need to open a new tab and see where he's from because it wouldn't surprise me. He's from Newark, New Jersey. They're Yankees fans, right? In Newark? Yeah. I always get confused because I know the Mets is Long Island, but I would imagine this feels authentic to him because, yeah, if he were a Red Sox fan at heart and then they tried to tap him for this campaign, it would be very conflicting. Anything that's a catalyst for nostalgia is a go for me. Maybe that's why you all are here. I hope you love the throwbacks, talking about Bring It On and all these old school things. Alexa, I think a brand that aligns with the brand values, or probably celebrity. I think a celebrity that aligns with the brand values, but also plays on cultural moments or things that could build recognition because a celebrity will also be associated with the brand. Yeah, I just think this was so worthy of discussion. Like it gets people talking about Seinfeld. It gets people thinking of the show and remembering that moment. It's just something really out of the box, yet well suited. So, okay. I'm sure I'll get a few more things delayed. He apparently considers himself a Mets fan. And Jerry already did the Mets stuff. No way. That kind of, I don't want to say it ruins it for me, but it's not as cool in my mind now. So I wonder if he's like secretly cringing wearing that stuff. He's probably just channeling his inner George, but if he's like, I can't believe I'm wearing this, I'm a Mets fan. Yeah. Kathy Ann says relatability to the brand values, believability to the audience that they're looking for. Someone that kind of shakes up the audience like, whoa, but the believability will cause them to buy. Love that. Yeah, this is a big theme, alignment on values and target audience. That was also my question is, do we think Kith's target audience appreciates this? I don't know who their target is. Resources spent on a celebrity partnership that would be better used otherwise and how that impacts your goals. If you're conversion focused, a splashy celeb partnership might only help boost awareness. Rachel keeps tying it back. She keeps thinking, okay, how does this align with the strategy and what we're really trying to do? I'm so glad your brain works that way. I love when fictitious characters break into the real world. It breaks a wall we didn't even know exists. That's so well said. I love that. That is exactly what it feels like. Okay, friends, feel good Friday. Share some good news. Think about it. Something great going on in your world, something you want to shout out. What can I say? I don't have anything on my schedule this weekend, which feels really great. I do have some assignments to grade. That's always a thing, but I don't have anywhere to be except for date night tomorrow night. We have a babysitter. So that is awesome. No. No. Hello? Are we back? Are we back? I have Wi-Fi. Can you hear me? Brooklyn Cyclones had a Seinfeld night with bobbleheads and an Elaine dance contest. I'm missing out. Are we still frozen? No. You know what? I'm going to go look on LinkedIn myself and see. Would have liked more of a George Costanza look from Alexander. Yeah. Let's see. Rachel, I will do that for you. Okay, am I still frozen? I'm back. Okay, good. All right, let me close this tab. That was weird. That was so weird. Okay. We're back. Oh my God, I'm back again. Yes, I will do that for you, Rachel. I'm here to make you look good. Backstreet's back. All right. So yes, where were we? Please share some good news. Fat Bear Week. Monique, this is the coolest thing I saw on the internet all week. Please explain. Please explain. Going to Lisbon for a presentation. Never been so really excited to see parts of Portugal. That is awesome. I've been to Lisbon. It's a good time. Try the canned fish. I know that sounds weird. Tuesday is my daughter Harley's 7th birthday. Just get her own Furby now, or a Labubu. Does she want a Labubu? Let me know. Might be high on her birthday list. Okay. You all might be here to vent about this. Instagram's 5120 by 1080, very linear, skinny little reels format. I saw this more on LinkedIn than I did on Instagram. What are our initial thoughts on this? Some good news. Devang worked on filming and editing a lot of content in August and September. Looking forward to releasing this weekend. Ooh, congrats. Tag me. Keep us posted. Will you be making any 5120 by 1080 reels? Very narrow, very weird, very bizarre. So what do you think of this format, and how would you approach storytelling differently in an ultra wide reel? Do we think this is here to stay also? I feel like it's this fleeting thing. Alexa says, someone reached out for my TikTok video wanting an apprenticeship from me, so that's cool. That's awesome. What, I need to follow you on TikTok, Alexa, and understand the context of that a little more. Jennifer says, one last freelance article to finish for the week. Bad news, client pulled the plug on the project early. So now I don't have any work lined up for next month. Was supposed to go through. Ooh, Jennifer, tell us what you're looking for. Some writing work. Keep us posted. I did not see Spirit Halloweens. Was it on my slide? I saw Kit Kat. Gotta love Spirit Halloween. The way they just come out of nowhere and crush it every year. Olipop. I did see Olipop. I've seen many brands on Instagram use it, like Kit Kat. It's an interesting size, but it looks too small. I saw some people saying they wish that Kit Kat actually broke it. Give me a break. Come on. All my kids want Labubus. Oh no. I am glad my daughter is not there yet and doesn't get it. And I'm sure there will be something when she's old enough to, ask for stuff like that. But right now, all she asks for is milk and cheese. So, yes, Fat Bear Week. We're tracking bears in Alaska as they eat salmon and get super large or hibernation. You can watch them on their live stream, which is a literal stream. And you can vote for your favorite bear, March Madness brackets style. It's exhilarating. Yes, you can put your money on a bear, basically, and see who's going to get the fattest and eat the most salmon. That's the coolest thing. Can Instagram just stop doing things we don't want them to do? We're tired, right? No comment. Why do they keep changing things as I'm getting used to it? This was more of an addition, right? Like, we still have our vertical reels. I guess we don't have to use it, but yeah, brands are going to be like, what's our strategy? I think this is just a fad and won't last. However, it's so fun and kitschy to capitalize on in the moment. Yeah, I think it's going to be really fleeting too. Content optimization. This is what Jennifer's looking for. Please help her out. If you know of any opportunities, please share. Okay. Couple more things to get to, but keep sharing your thoughts on this. More people complain about it than I've seen the actual format in the wild. I don't personally have a take just yet. All right, we'll keep reading. Seems good to promote banners or announcements. That's what it feels like. It feels like a banner ad, like we're back in 1998. So, should I put money? I need that live stream. Literally in my life. That was the funniest thing. Okay, keep sharing your thoughts, but now let's talk about AI. AI is still happening. We're still using it. We're still doing cool things with it, thankfully. But Ad Age had this interesting article about how it's going to reshape marketing by 2030 and what to operationalize. And I want to share this quote from Ewan Larkin. He says, I think it's also important to build some sort of system for evaluating AI workflows. What does it look like when it's successful? And where do we need human guidance? Maybe you hire new people that are actually focusing specifically on that, just a system or framework in place for oversight and evaluation of these AI systems. So he's suggesting hiring a team that kind of manages AI, kind of how you would manage your employees or your subordinates, but overlooking AI and making sure that, there's no mishaps there. You're kind of babysitting the robots. So my question for you, speaking of human guidance, is what AI tasks may need the most human guidance or oversight in marketing? What AI tasks may need the most guidance or oversight in marketing? Going back to question 4, the reels. I think if brands continue to use it and get results, it might stay good for product reveals and cinematic like stuff. Yeah, Kathy Ann, I'm glad you brought that up because in my research and the more I read about it, it was saying that those videos or reels of that size, it's crucial to shoot in 4K and that they're highly cinematic when they're ultra wide. So there is a better, quality expectation from what I'm gathering. Would love to see some filmmakers, who play with ultra wide screen films like Tarantino, take a shot with the Instagram thin wide reels. people who know how to use all that linear space well. Yeah, let's follow their lead. The stream is so hot right now. The salmon is jumping. Do I need to I hate that I can't copy and paste this from what I'm doing, because I would pull it up. We could just end the stream by watching it together. Design. Ooh, tell me more, John Christopher. I'm going to look up the Fat Bear Week live stream while you all are thinking about this. Fat Bear Week 2025 live. This isn't live right now. I'm going to grab the link from YouTube. I mean, from LinkedIn. Because StreamYard doesn't let me copy and paste your comments. It's really frustrating. So tell me, what marketing tasks need, here it is, need some human guidance the most? I still think it's just writing, because sometimes they don't get the tone right. Oh, this is so beautiful. 3,000 people watching. Amazing. Yeah, we should just jump into this stream afterward. End the stream with the stream. Obviously, that's what we need to do. Content creation, you need to make sure there is a clear perspective and point of view in the content to differentiate it from AI generated content. I also think there needs to be oversight in whoever's feeding AI too. Like, even thinking about what Rachel was saying, you need to set up AI when you're putting in your prompts to tell them what your brand values are, tell them what the strategy is, instead of just kind of openly asking. They need that context. And I think if we're not trained properly to give the full context, then the output is going to need more editing and oversight. So I think this is exactly right, Alexa. Like, giving the little robots their perspective and point of view, and really setting it up for success is going to help. Danny says, we have an interactive AI robot named Robin in our children's medical center that helps combat loneliness for kids who are isolated in the hospital. It's amazing. Danny, you are amazing. Please keep telling me more about the work that you do, because it just makes me so happy just seeing the impact that you're having. So thank you for that. Kathy says, oversight is needed in segmentation and targeting profiles to make sure accuracy. Accuracy is a big one. Thank you for bringing that up. And humanity comes through in decisions made on buyers' personas. Yes. I think you need to have an understanding of how or why marketing works. AI may help increase efficiency if what it produces works, but if something is broken, you can't fix it if you don't know how it works to identify the issue. For now, we're still selling to humans, so we need a human in the loop. The human touch will help break through the sea of sameness. Absolutely. Human guidance is needed for making sure that things are actually accurate. You never know what AI is going to make up. Yes, or is outdated. Very frustrating. A new MIT study came out and said that 95% of AI implementations have failed to provide an ROI. What? Oh boy. AI content, all kinds. Yes, it can help generate content more quickly, but you have to have a human editor. Sounds dire, but I think most writers and designers, videographers will eventually be replaced. Businesses and firms won't want to pay for your experience or expertise. You'll become the editor of AI junk. Ugh, you might be right. Content creation and setting up the workflow. Monique says it's actually valid. Yes. Thanks, Chris. Agree, Brianne. If your organization is using AI, better to set up your own GPT than rely on the native AI engine's memory and biases. Yes, I've seen that get all jumbled. You sometimes have to level set with your robots here and be like, no, this is the context. Stick to this. All right. Keep sounding off on that, but I want to wrap up with some things that are coming up. I can't believe next week is October, or should I say TikToktober. as they call it, TikTok released this guide of all the fun videos that you could make and things you can do to be festive in October. And I feel like the categories that they identified here are just the essence of TikTok. And I didn't realize it until I saw this all on paper, like just how into local businesses they are and getting out in your community, taking a ghost tour, visit a cemetery, try scary themed treats at a local bakery. And then they have a whole small business section. Discover a scary book on Book Talk, visit a costume store, go to a pumpkin patch. This is so fun. Terrifying treats. We know all the sweets and food and fun stuff like that is on TikTok. A whole DIY section, DIY your own Halloween costume, and also all the posts about hosting a scary movie night, having people over. I feel like this is just the essence of TikTok. And I'll tell you about something that I might need to DIY. It's really smart and cute. Yeah, TikTok does good things like this, like theming things out and giving you content ideas. So maybe this will spark something for you if you look up TikToktober. They describe it as each day of October, we're highlighting new ways to celebrate the season, whether that's exploring haunted towns, baking seasonal treats, blah, blah, blah. I kind of just read all that. They just made a whole content calendar for you. We love that. I love Vlogtober. Vlogtober. Exactly. And also, we've got to get festive because next Friday is October 3rd. So it's Mean Girls Day. It's not a Wednesday, so we may or may not wear pink, but it's also the release of The Life of a Showgirl. So that's going to be epic. And did you hear Taylor Swift just announced another version of her vinyl? I can't keep up. There's now a Target exclusive with special artwork that's just for Target. And I was like, maybe for a moment I'll consider being a showgirl for Halloween. Not as scantily clad as this, but I saw some fun outfits. And then I realized I have a giant belly right now because I'm pregnant. I was like, I don't think they make those in maternity. So I may have to DIY that, but I'm not crafty like that. I was like, oh yeah, I forgot about this big belly I have going. Okay, we're wrapping up. I just want to know, what do you have going on in October? Life of a Showgirl. Yes, you know I was getting there. So we're going to get festive. I don't know. Did Taylor pick Mean Girls Day on purpose? Probably. 10 plus 3 is 13. I don't know. I have never gone to Salem on Halloween. Maybe this is the year. Maybe that's part of your TikToktober. I've been to a wedding in Salem, but yeah, not during the witchy season. Yeah, so report back. I've got to do something fun for this pop chat, obviously. The Target variant is so pretty, but Taylor, please stop with the vinyl variants, bestie. I can't. Catching some heat online for still doing Target exclusives. It's just so much. I'm just going to stream it on Spotify. I'm sorry. I'm going to stick with Mariah here. My girl. But yeah, tell me what you've got going on in October. If you have anything that you're looking forward to. I've got a fall wedding in North Carolina that I also need a maternity-friendly dress for. That's been fun. Your birthday, October what? Is it on a Friday? Cheers to you, Amy. But alas, it is already 2:00. I timed this pretty well, didn't I? Going to order a few new video games. Treat yourself. Devang, releasing my clothing line. You also had a bunch of content. Have a photo shoot with the mayor. You guys are so cool. Lisa says her cousins are all in Massachusetts and haven't been either. We've got to do a field trip to Salem. Lots of fun stuff. Your birthday. I need LinkedIn to just go full Facebook and tell me everyone's birthdays, please, because I'm out of the loop. While you're all here, if you aren't subscribed to my newsletter yet, please sign up for more pop culture fun. It's briennefleming.com/newsletter. It is back in full swing. Rachel bought a cute wooden Halloween countdown calendar from Michael's. Oh, I bet people could have a field day in Michael's right now. I'm so excited to fill it with spooky activities, fun. Kathy Ann's here. Oh, we're wrapping up. Oh, October 1st, Amy, so soon. Happy birthday. Our company sponsored Jaguars game is Monday Night Football against the Chiefs. Oh, and it's at home for you. Yeah, our company, obviously. Whoa, she's going to be very busy that week. She might have some press lined up. Yay, October 4th. You guys, happy birthday, everyone. Girls trip, work trip, hair appointment. All the glam. Where's the girls trip? I need to know. Oops, wanted to do this instead. Here we go. Thank you all so much for hanging out with me while I ramble. I hope you got some value out of this. I certainly do, because you all are such smarty pants and you really get me thinking. So thank you. But yeah, I'll see you next Friday for The Life of a Showgirl and Mean Girls Day. I want to say it's Kevin from the Backstreet Boys' birthday. I think he might be the 4th. No, I think he's the 3rd. Kevin Richardson. Yeah, October 3rd. So there's so much going on. I get 450 plus trick-or-treaters. That's a lot. You need to go to Costco. All right, everyone. October 11th. I feel like now I'm wondering how many of your birthdays I've missed. Who was in September that I didn't shout out? So jealous. I get 0 trick-or-treaters. Oh. We this is going to only be our 2nd year having children. But last year and the year before in our neighborhood, my husband sets up a cocktail table and he makes like these spooky themed cocktails for the parents. But we might actually trick or treat because my daughter's 1, but I don't know, she's not going to eat candy. So I think we'll just stick to cocktails. Bye, everyone. Thank you so much. I'll see you next week. Have a great weekend. Have great birthdays. All the things. See you next time. Bye, guys. See ya.